In this video, we are looking at long multiplication, where we are multiplying not by a single digit number now, but a two-digit number. We will set up the calculation of 67 multiplied by 26. This time, however, our equal signs are a little bit different. We will have two lines of workings out for our multiplication and a final calculation at the bottom where we will add our two answers together. In this row, we will be multiplying 67 multiplied by 6. In the next row, we will be multiplying 67 multiplied by the 20. If I look at the first row, I've got 6 multiplied by 7. 6 multiplied by the 7 gives me 42. The 2 will be written down and I will carry the 4. I now have 6 multiplied by the 6 gives me 36. I must add the 4 to give me 40. I can write the 40 down and I've used the 4. In the next row, we need to recognise that we are not multiplying just by 2, but by 20. We deal with this by placing a 0 in that box there for that 0 there on the 20. We can now imagine it is just the 2 we are using. We will multiply 2 by 7 to give us 14. We will write the 4 down and we will carry the 1 over. We then look at multiplying 2 by the 6 to give us 12 and we add the 1 to give us 13. In our equals lines, we will now add up the answers to our multiplication. 2 add the 0 is 2. 0 add the 4 is 4. 4 add the 3 is 12, where the 2 is written down and the 1 is carried over. 1 add the 1 is 2. So the answer to 67 multiplied by 26 is 2,242. Press pause while you try the your turn question. £35 multiplied by 52. We have two sets of calculations in the multiplication and we will add at the end our answers. We know the first row is used to multiply 35 by 2. The next row is used to multiply 35 by the 50. If we look at the first row to begin with, we start with 2 multiplied by the 5. 2 multiplied by the 5 is 10. The 0 is written down and we carry the 1. 2 multiplied by the 3 is 6. Add the 1 is 7. And we've used that 1. When we go to the next row, we remember we are looking to work out what 35 multiplied by 50 is. We will deal with the 0 here by putting a 0 there. We can now imagine we are only multiplying by the 5. 5 multiplied by the 5 gives us 25, where 5 is written down and the 2 is carried over. 5 multiplied by the 3 is 15. 15, add the 2, is 17. We will now add our answers. 0, add the 0, gives us 0. 7, add the 5, gives us 12. The 2 is written down, the 1 is carried over. 7, add the 1, is 8. We have used the 1. 1 on its own is 1. So the answer to 35 multiplied by 52 is 1,820. When we look at calculations that have more numbers on top, we work them out in the same way. We keep the place value where we have 354 and we multiply it by the 76, where the units are lined up and the tens are lined up. And we are multiplying them together. Again, we will have one line to multiply by the 6 and another to multiply by the 70. Remember, the top line is 354 multiplied by 6, and the next line is 354 multiplied by the 70. Starting with this line, I need to look at 6 multiplied by 4. 6 multiplied by the 4 gives me 24, where 4 is written down and 2 is carried on. 6 multiplied by the 5 is 30. 30, add the 2, is 32, where 2 is written down, used, and 3 is carried over. 6 multiplied by the 3 is 18. 18, add this 3, gives us 21. And we've used this 3. Moving on to the next line, we remember we are multiplying by 70. We deal with this 0 by placing a 0 in this box. We now imagine we are multiplying by just the 7. 7 multiplied by 4 is 28, where 8 is written down and 2 is carried over. 7 multiplied by 5 is 35. 35, add the 2, is 37, where 7 is written down and the 3 is carried over. 7 multiplied by 3 is 21. 21, add the 3, is 24. We now combine our answers with addition. 4 add 0 is 4. 8 add the 2 is 10, where 0 is written down and 1 is carried over. 1 add the 7 is 8. 8 add the 1 is 9. We've used the 1. 2 add the 4 is 6, and 2 on its own is 2. So the answer to 354 multiplied by 76 is 26,904. Press pause while you try the your turn question. $337 multiplied by 25. We have 2 lines for our workings out. The top row, we remember, is 337 multiplied by the 5. The next line, we have 337 multiplied by the 20. We start with this line where we are multiplying by the 5. 5 times 7 gives us 35, where 5 is written down and 3 is carried over. 5 multiplied by 3 is 15. 15 add the 3 is 18, where 8 is written down and 1 is carried over. And we have used the 3. 5 multiplied by 3 is 15. 15 add the 1 is 16. And we have used the 1. We remember the next line, we are multiplying by 20. We deal with this 0 by placing a 0 here. We now imagine we are multiplying by the 2. 2 multiplied by 7 is 14. 4 is written down and 1 is carried over. 2 multiplied by the 3 is 6. 6 add the 1 is 7. And we have used the 1. 2 multiplied by 3 is 6. We will now add our answers. 5 add 0 is 5. 8 add the 4 is 12. 2 is written down, 1 is carried over. 6 add the 7 is 13. 13 add the 1 is 14. 4 is written down, 1 is carried over. 1 add the 6 is 7. 7 add the 1 is 8. The answer to 337 multiplied by 25 is 8,425.